Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. I just wanted to come on and do this little training video with you guys with some coaching stuff. It's worked for me, it's worked for my team, that can help you get into Autumn's next group, which I know is a big goal for everybody here who has been kicking butt. You guys rock. But also, as I mentioned in the text of this, I saw a lot of people in this group yesterday commenting on this one post. There was this girl who posted that she was really struggling to get her business going as a coach. And I just wanted to offer some advice and tips. I ended up posting a lot of comments on that to try and help. And then I realized I should really just go live because I have a lot to say about building this business successfully, getting over those humps, because there's a lot of stuff to learn as a coach. There's a lot of failing, and there's a lot of places where people get stuck. Objections, that's a big one. As soon as you mention the price, for some reason you've never signed up a customer because you never get past that point. And how do we do that? And what, there's so many questions and a lot of failing forward as we learn this business. And I feel like a lot of people get stuck at this one point and then they never push past it. And then they feel like they're failing, like, what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. It is just that it's a learning curve. So I'm going to go through some stuff that I've written down here that I think is important, but please, if you have any questions while we're going through this, post them. I really want this to be an open Q&A. If you're struggling with something, post it here so that we can all move past it together, because I want to see everybody in this group get into Autumn's Obsessed About Coaching group. We're going to learn so much more about coaching in that group together. We're going to learn all these different aspects from different coaches, because everybody has a different thing, that they bring to this business that's unique, and you're going to resonate with some of it with certain people, and other stuff you're like, nope, not for me. And that's the cool thing about this. You're going to craft your business to really meet who you are. So going over some of the basics. If you've ever started your coaching business, you've had probably your upline, or you've in training seen the all-important question, why? Why do you want to do this? Why are you passionate about this? Why are you going to put the time in? And it's the exact same thing like when you committed to 80-day obsession here. When you were like, why am I going to do this? On the days where it's hard, where I'm busy, where something happens, you have all seen, just like I've seen, people in this group. Like, I couldn't believe it in the first 2 weeks of this group when people had some pretty crazy life stuff happening. They still stuck to the program. What kept them sticking to the program on those really tough days? And I mean, like, even having people pass away who mean a lot to them, and they still stayed the course. What's going to make you stay the course on the tough days? You got to really dig deep for that, because we all want, the extra money. We all want to help people. That goes without saying. But what really lights your passion with this? And I'm going to give you an example for me. I mean, I struggled with obesity growing up. I was the fat kid in kindergarten. Like, it was bad. And after years and years and years of struggle, Beachbody was the only thing that worked for me. So being able to pay that forward means so much to me. On the flip side of that, on the really more businessy side of that, I got really burnt out working at standard jobs. I just couldn't take it anymore. I'm an artist at heart. I wanted time to write my books, to do my films, all that kind of stuff that means a lot to me. So those are the things that fuel me. On the days where I'm like, I don't want to invite today, I know that get the hell over it, because I need to invite, because I'm passionate about changing people's lives. I know I'm being selfish if I'm not paying it forward, because it's had such a profound impact on my life being part of the Beachbody community. So being able to share that's huge. And also so that I know I don't have to go out and get another job that I'm going to despise. So those are things that are really important to me. Maybe you are you're a parent and you want to be an at-home parent. Maybe you don't have the ability to leave your job right now, but it would mean the world to you to be able to be home with your kids more. That is a powerful reason that's going to get you to go further and push harder on the days you don't feel like it. So really dig into that. And I highly recommend grab like a piece of paper or a book or something. Write down these questions. You don't have to answer them while we're going through this, but be able to do the work through this later, because it's really important that you do that. And once you know why you want to do this, we got to set some goals. And your goals are going to be different depending on who you are. Maybe you love your job and you don't want to retire, but you would love maybe a college fund for your kid would be your Beachbody income, for example. Okay, great. Well, how are we going to make that happen? So wherever you are with this business, whatever your goals are, big or small, I want you to set your very first goals as becoming an Emerald coach and hitting Success Club 5 every month. Now, the reason I bring this to your attention, if you are Emerald and you hit Success Club 5 every month, you're going to qualify for the Beachbody Customer Leads Program. This is where all the people who sign up who didn't get a coach referral, they are distributed to everybody who is Emerald or above and hit Success Club 5 or higher each month. So that means you get exponential business growth. That means you're bringing in customers and Beachbody is giving you customers. That is going to give you the exponential growth. That means your business is going to boom. And that's what we all want, right? It's going to give you more people to help who are ready to get started on their journey. So that is something that I encourage everybody to aim for, even if you don't have big financial goals. If your goal is to help more people, that's going to help you help more people. So that is a really good one to put on your list. So if you're not already Emerald, write it down. I'm going to be Emerald. And that is something that people feel really intimidated about getting coaches on board. But as soon as you decide, you know what, I'm going for it, you'd be surprised how fast it could happen. You could do it in one day. If you really were like, this is going to freaking happen, you could do it. So put that on your goal list. And Success Club 5 is helping 3 new people a month get started with a challenge pack. Now, before you get panicky about that, because everybody goes, oh my gosh, I gotta sell stuff. We gotta change the mindset about sales. Because I know as soon as I hear the word sales, I instantly think of like that grubby used salesman who wants to sell me a lemon. Do you think of that too? Or like just some kind of negative experience. But it's really important to note that a good salesperson gives you that best experience where you're so grateful they were there to help you, because they're going to save you money. They're going to get you the best deal. They're going to educate you about the product and why it's the right one for you. So it's really important that you know that that's a big part of the equation. Inviting, not selling, because you're not going to be twisting anybody's arm to sell anything. I'm going to get into that a bit later, but just know that it is not about pushing, because as soon as you push something or you're trying to sell something, you're going to feel icky. The person you're talking to is going to feel icky, and you're not going to make a sale, because that's not what you can't go in wanting to make a sale. You got to go in talking to somebody, wanting to see where they're at and how you can help. If that means they need to buy something to do it, okay, so be it. So you're going to make that recommendation, but it's not going to be pushing it. So let's go from here. We've got our why. We've got our initial goals set. After that, okay, 4 vital behaviors. These are really important. These are things that are often neglected. And I'm going to be really honest with you guys here. I signed up as a coach in July 2013, so I've been coached for quite a while now. And I can tell you, for the first 2 to 3 years of my business, I didn't do personal development. I know, guilty, didn't do it. I was like, no, I'm good. I got a good mindset. I'm all right. It was stupid. As soon as I started adding that part of the personal development into the vital behaviors, when I did all of them, magic happened. My business boomed. Different areas of my life got better. My relationship got better. We had more money than we'd ever had in our lives. Like, it was just crazy. It happened so fast. So it's really important that we don't neglect any of these aspects. So let's just dive into a quick overview of what the vital behaviors are. This might just be a refresher, or if you're a brand new coach, maybe you're going to learn something new. I hope so. So being a product of the product. This one is one that most coaches find the easiest, which is show up and do your workout every day, drink your shake every day, and share it. Now, it's not about being super salesy and sharing it. We want to do things called curiosity marketing. So if I'm drinking my Shakeology and I'm sharing like a picture of it, I'm not going to be sharing like my Shakeology cup where it's actually got the name on it. I'm not going to mention what I'm drinking in the post. Carl Deichler has a really great saying with the I'm drinking my chocolate salad, and then people are like, what are you talking about? It gets people asking questions. That's what we want, because we want conversations going on. That's where the beauty and the magic happens in the business, is in the one-on-one. So that's really important as we're going into things. So as you're sharing your sweaty selfies and your shake and all that stuff, among the other stuff you're sharing from your life, because we don't just want to be Beachbody, billboards out there. That's not fun for anybody. As you're, just dropping that along the path, it's going to get people to see that you show up every day, you're consistent, and they can rely on you. Danielle Natoni said this really well a few times in different times. I've heard her doing motivational speaking where, you wouldn't expect to show up at a Starbucks on Tuesday at 2 p.m. and see they're closed, right? It's the same with our social media. That's our storefront. So you need to be consistent in the way that you're posting and sharing what you're doing, being a product of the product. I will get more into posting later, but that's just something to think about as a tidbit of, okay, I need to be consistent. And now personal development, which was the thing I avoided, which is now my very favorite thing to do from the vital behaviors. So as far as this one goes, it's one of the ones where I know most people shrug it off, and I swear I want to say it's the most important. It feels the most important to me because it was so life-changing for me. You don't have to, if you're not a reader, I get it. It's not for everybody. You can do audio, you can do video. I have to suggest, because I found this really helpful when I started with personal development, if you look up Doug Moss, he is the regional director of the West, or at least it was the West. I don't know if he moved, but he has this wonderful YouTube series where he's interviewing all the top coaches in that area, what's been working well for them, and they give all of their business tips, what's worked for them, how they grew through it, all the struggles and how they overcame them. And that really helped me to kind of see different perspectives, and I really resonated with some more than others to realize, okay, there is no one size fits all, and it just helped me put the pieces of the puzzle together. So that was a really great place for me to start. Once I got into some more of the reading, I realized that I was picking up a lot more information from the books because I had to digest it more. So for me, I make that half an hour to an hour of personal development day. That's something that I worked up to. I started with 10 minutes because I didn't want to do it. So you start where you're at, right? There's so many good books out there. I'm going to recommend a few. You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, Entrepreneur Roller Coaster by Darren Hardy, Go Pro by Eric Worre. Those are some great places to start, and some variety in the ones that you're going to read. I'm a big fan of Law of Attraction, so I go for a lot of that kind of stuff. But I also look at the business end of things too, because I think it's really important that we diversify in the stuff that we're reading, because we pick up different stuff each time. So find out what's resonating with you. Find the authors that make you smile, that make you learn. That's really important. And again, or if audio is your thing, if your mind wanders when you read, there's no point in reading. If audio is better for you, turn your car into a rolling university. You can do that. And then inviting. If you're not inviting, you don't have a business. End of story. It's one of those things where I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You got to invite. And I loved Carl Deichler's analogy where he was talking about a coach he spoke to. And he was saying, posting all the time, sharing what you're doing, it's great. But it's like you go, out and you're jogging all the time, and your neighbors are seeing you jog. But they're not just gonna, lace up their shoes and join you. You gotta organize people to do something. So if it's your goal to organize people and get them involved, you gotta go and talk to them. You gotta go and tell them what you're doing and when you're doing it and how they can join you. These are things that are really important. So keep that in mind, that am I just showing people what I'm doing, or am I really reaching out to people and getting them the information they need to make a decision if they can join me? And of course, recognition. If you're a newer coach, then you've always seen there's been 4 available behaviors. If you're an older coach, this one was added in because it's really important to let people know that they're awesome. I think that's the way to say it best. If you can go out and like recognize somebody, whether it's one of your challengers kicking butt in their group, maybe your friend just started a new business, you give her a shout out on your page, like how proud you are. Maybe your kid did something amazing. When you recognize people and publicly recognize people, it really gives them this sense like, wow, like that person acknowledged me. And as a coach, you may not realize it, but you are in a position as a leader. And you know, like when you're in school and the teacher like publicly recognizes that like, hey, this person's like paper was really good, it makes you feel special. As a coach, you have that power because you're in that position where you're a leader. So as soon as you recognize somebody, that's going to mean something really profound to them. So you got to keep in mind that that's something important, and it is a daily vital behavior. So find a way to recognize somebody every day. It doesn't have to be on social media. Maybe you're getting together at a family event and you just give somebody a shout out from your family, like at the dinner table, like, hey, everybody, you know, I'm so proud of, you know, Uncle Bob because he just tried a new kind of food that he's never eaten before because he's fussy. I don't know, something like that. It depends on the situation. But you know, there's always somebody doing something awesome that you can recognize. And I think that's really important to give those shout outs. Okay, so moving on from there, this is something I talked about yesterday when we're getting into how do I onboard customers. Like people get so frustrated because maybe you are inviting people. You're like, oh, you got to join me for 80 Day Obsession. It's amazing. Like I just lost 10 pounds and I feel great. You got to do this with me. And they're like, oh, that sounds amazing. And you get in the conversation and it's going and you hit the price and they're like, yeah, I don't think I want to invest that much. And you're like, how can you not want to do this with me? It's amazing. They don't know how awesome it is. Period. Even if you're making it sound amazing, until they have a group experience where they get to see what Beachbody workouts are like, what it's like to work with a coach in a group with other people, grinding through the same workouts, following the meal plan, they don't know how awesome it is. So getting that investment done, it's hard as an initial thing. I am a big fan of getting people signed up for a free account, getting them to do Clean Week, because Clean Week's free. If you guys didn't know this, if somebody signs up for a free player membership, they instantly get access to Clean Week for free. So get them to sign up for a free account, give them Clean Week, get them to do the program. What I've started doing is I'm running usually about 2 groups a month for Clean Week. So I'm constantly recruiting people for Clean Week. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's going to start like, you know, we're going to prep you and we're going to start you on blank date. So we get them in a group together. They get this group experience and they're like, wow, this is amazing. And they don't want it to end. So when I'm in the last few days of that group, I can be like, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. You guys are doing amazing. And I don't want this to end. And I know you don't want it to end. Here's what's coming next. You instantly lead them into the next thing. There's different kinds of free groups you can do. You could totally do a free clean eating group and whatnot, but why not share the program, like the full Beachbody experience? It's at your fingertips, so use it. It's a tool that they created specifically for us coaches to be able to get people to try what it's like. The other thing you can do, and I sometimes run these groups and I've had great success with them, is because Beachbody On Demand offers the 14-day free trial, you can totally run a 2-week Beachbody On Demand group for free to get people to try it. And then in that second week, that's where you remind people like, hey, it's about to expire. I hope you've enjoyed it. You know, shout out to so-and-so. They lost 5 pounds already. It's amazing. And then you can introduce the options to keep going. So these are things that are important to note as you go on. Starting them off free isn't failing. In fact, it's one of the best things you can do, because once they're your customer and they've tried the program, like 99% of the time, they want to continue. Now, I did want to touch on this because somebody mentioned yesterday on the post that, okay, I can get people to sign up for free, but then they'll never invest in anything after that. Really important when we're signing up people for free that we're not just basically begging them to sign up so that they get the free thing. And this really comes from the attitude we approach it with. Because if you're panicky and needy to get people to sign up, then you've put them in the position of power. Whereas you're the coach. As a coach, you have so much to offer. They're going to get somebody that... I want you to think about going to a gym. Somebody signs up for a gym membership. For one, they're paying more than they would for Beachbody On Demand, which is cuckoo. But anyway, they're doing it. So they sign up for a gym membership. They have to figure out how to use the equipment themselves. They feel like a fish out of water because what the heck is all this stuff I got to use and learn how to use? And I don't want to look embarrassed in front of the fit people trying to figure out this equipment or how to lift the weights properly. And they don't get the help. If they want a personal trainer to help them in the gym, they got to pay big time to get that extra help. And they don't have somebody to help them with nutrition. They don't have somebody who's going to check in on them or that they can reach out to 7 days a freaking week. Like, guys, as a coach, you are like the best part of the deal. Them spending like $180 on the 80-day obsession challenge pack is peanuts compared to what they'd spend to get that kind of help from somebody. You are the most valuable part of this business. They are paying like dirt cheap nothing for the rest of it. You are what like is amazing. So I think it's really important that you focus on like, what do you bring to the table? You're awesome. You are the one that's forming these groups that are getting these people to come together, that are going to help each other, that are going to raise each other up, because that's what we do. The community, that's the best part of this for everybody. Everybody in this group's like freaking out that this group's going to end, me included, because I love this group. You love this group. Being in this community is freaking amazing. That's what you're selling. Okay? The workouts, they're freaking awesome. The meal plan, it's freaking awesome. The community, that's priceless. So let's really put things into perspective when we're getting into, yes, we're offering the free clean week, but we're going to be talking about the other stuff that's coming up. We're going to be encouraging them to move on to the next thing. We're going to be sharing what everybody else is doing. One thing that I found that's been really helpful that I started doing, I think it was my second year of coaching, is I have a year-long challenge group. It goes on all year. And then as soon as the new year comes, I just change the date. So that group's been going on for years. I add my new clients into that group. So some of them, they'll start with clean week and I just add them into that group. Well, then they see that, these 6 other people are like posting their Shakeology pictures and about how good they feel. And then I didn't have to say anything. My other challengers who love their Shakeology so much and share how awesome it is have sold Shakeology to that other person. And then all I got to do is let them know that, hey, do you want a free program with your Shakeology? Because guess what? If you get a $140 challenge pack, you're actually going to save $2, get a free program with your Shakeology. Sound good? And I'm going to break that down right now because some of you are like, what's she mean by that? Shakeology is $129 plus $15 shipping. $140 challenge pack is $140 plus $2 shipping. So they're actually going to save like $2.50, and they're going to get a free program with it if they get the challenge pack instead. Plus, they're getting a free program and saving $2. You're getting more commission, and you're getting two Success Club points. So everybody wins. So these are things that are important. If you can let somebody know like how much better of a deal you can get them, they're so happy at the end of the day. So these are things to keep in mind, things that have worked for me, things that have worked for other coaches. So we get somebody, they do clean week or a free Beachbody On Demand trial. They're at the end of it. Fantastic. They love it. Help them get the best results in that. Let's say they join that group and they're not posting. You better reach out to them. Hey, it's day 2 and I noticed I haven't seen you post yet. Like, how are you doing with the program? See what's happening. Don't just let them not post. See what's going on. This is really important. One of the things that can really help to make sure that people do post off the bat and you have less people you need to personally reach out to check in on, set group rules. And it feels really intimidating the first time you do it. But once you set group rules like everybody must read and agree. I commit to posting every single day about my workout. I agree to share about my meals. I agree to cheer on my fellow challengers. Make that your group rules and you are going to have the majority of the people will follow that. Once they've, seen it, tag them on it, make sure that they, agree to it, and then check in on the people who didn't. Like if by day 2 you don't see them, hey, where are you? What's going on? Do you need help? Most of the time they do. Most of the time they're too embarrassed to ask for the help. Like they didn't figure out how to actually log into Beachbody on Demand. Something simple like that. You'd be surprised how often they need the help and they're embarrassed to ask. So reach out. So they've done the free group. We've introduced them to the options they have to move forward after that. Maybe you're getting objections at this point. They love it. They want to move forward, but they don't want to pay for it, or whatever the case may be. Great. Let's work through those objections. Objections are awesome. You need to get excited about getting objections. And I know that sounds really like, why? Why would I be excited about that? If somebody says anything other than no, I'm not interested, it means they are interested. So I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, etc., etc. That doesn't mean they aren't interested. It means they are interested, but they need more information to make an informed decision. That's what we're here for. Okay, so let's say somebody's like, I don't think I have enough time to do 80-day obsession. Let's look at your schedule. Like, guys, we've got people in here who work like 12 or 16 hour like shift work shifts, which by all means, if you're doing that, like, wow, go you. Seriously, that's amazing. You can make it happen if you really want to make it happen. But let's say that's like the idea of it, like you talk it through and they're like, no, that's okay. What we're going to do, you're going to set your alarm in the morning 15 minutes earlier. You're going to do 10-minute trainer. 10 minutes of exercise in the morning is going to set you up to feel amazing for the rest of the day. But like the extra 15 minutes of sleep won't make an impact on your day one way or the other. So you can get started that way. Get them going. Meet them where they're at. Not everybody's going to want to jump in on a tough program like this one. Maybe somebody has like knee issues and they're really nervous to get started because they don't want to make it worse. We've got programs for that. We got low impact programs. You can recommend Tai Chi, Pyo, the yoga studio, stuff like that. They don't always have to jump in on the hard stuff. And maybe you're brand new to Beachbody and 80-day obsession was your first program, so you don't know how to recommend the stuff you haven't tried. Ask your team, check the challenge group guides and everything in the back office. There's so much information there. You're in a giant group with coaches right now. You got a question, post it. We're here to help each other. And we're going to get a lot more information in Autumn's group too. We're going to get so much coaching advice and help and development in that group. You're going to grow a lot. But I want to make sure that you're in that group, which means you got to get at least one challenge pack out there. In the meantime, we're going to do that together. Okay, so working through objections. There's a really simple way to do this. It's called feel, felt, found. Okay, it's the triple F. You can look this up on the internet. There's tons of information on it. This is basically like, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. What I found was fill in the blank, and that's the solution. So you want to make sure that they hear you. That you can relate to where they've been and that the solution that you found to that problem was blank. So let's, for example, coach opportunity, throwing that out there for a price objection, because that's what I do. Guys, if somebody's like, I can't afford it, I instantly offer them the coach opportunity. Make some money while you're doing your workouts, guys. No brainer. So what I do when that happens is like, hey, I know how you feel. I've been broke before and it is not fun. I felt the same way because out of college, I was in debt. I was not just living paycheck to paycheck. I was living debt to further in debt, and it really sucked. What I found was when I got started with the Beachbody opportunity, I was able to get rid of my debt. I was able to work from home and quit my job and feel amazing. Now, maybe you're not there with coaching yet. You don't have to be able to go, quit my job or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you can go, hey, I get it. When, I know how you feel. I felt the same way because when I got my challenge pack, I was like, wow, that's just like a huge expense. But what I found was by helping a few people get started with the program that I actually covered the cost of my own challenge pack. Awesome. So that is really relatable, right? That's something that talks them through the problem, lets them see that there's a very simple solution to that problem at the end of the day. And that's all we're here to do, is to help people move through what they're scared about so that they see that there is a solution to that. An objection is just them saying, I need more information. Help me see how this isn't really a problem. That's what an objection is. You need to see it that way to be able to move through that. Okay. So once we get them to paid, they're doing, Beachbody on Demand, or they're doing a full program and they're on Shakeology and they love it and it's amazing, moving them to be a coach. If they're rocking it in your challenge group, if they're, drinking Shakeology all the time, there's a lot of different ways you can bring coaching with them. But don't prejudge people as not wanting to do coaching. You gotta just offer it to everybody, because I've been surprised before. People who I thought would be amazing coaches, and I offered it, and they weren't interested at all. And then people who were really quiet and I wasn't sure about, and then they were like, I've been dying to do this, actually. I've been thinking about it so much and I'm gonna do it. And then I'm like, what? So don't pre-screen people in your own mind. You gotta offer it to everybody. So reaching out, let them know, like, hey, I think you'd be a great coach. You're posting in this group, you're inspirational, whatever the case may be. They're drinking Shakeology all the time. You're setting a great example. You're living such a healthy lifestyle. Save, 25% on your shake, and let's help some other people, experience what you've experienced. Get the conversation going. If you're a newer coach, you're probably not running coach sneak peeks, but your team probably has a coach sneak peek you can invite them to. And I also want to throw out there, guys, if your upline isn't active, it's okay. It really is okay. You can reach out to your higher up in the team. Somebody's up there who can help you. Or, maybe you're going to just search the internet for help. Maybe you're going to reach out to another coach you meet for help. Find a success partner. There's a group, Success Partner Seekers, I believe is what it's called. You can find yourself somebody who is, in line with where you want to be in life, what your goals are with the business. You can co-run groups together. I highly recommend it. When you co-run a group, you take that burden off of yourself to have to fill the group, to have to post every day, to have to do everything yourself. You really relieve the stress. And that is such an important thing. And I also want to throw it out there because I know so many coaches put this big burden on themselves to get people in there and then they panic. And that's not fun. Guys, when I ran my first challenge group, I had 2 people in it with me and they didn't post once. And it's okay. It's going to happen to everybody. It doesn't matter where you are. It happens. So team up with somebody so that if you've got 2 people and they've got 2 people, well, great. Now we got a bigger group because now there's 6 of us with the 2 coaches and the 4 participants. It feels better to be in that group with more people. So just be aware that it's okay. It's okay to get help. It's okay to co-run a group, and it's gonna be a lot more fun too. Plus, you can pick each other up. You're each gonna learn different things as you're going through the business. So you're gonna learn from each other. You're gonna encourage each other. You're gonna push each other further. Just make sure that your partner isn't constantly needing you to pick them up. If you're constantly picking somebody up, you're draining your energy. You need somebody who lifts you up and you lift them up, so you're both rising. So keep that in mind, because sometimes you meet somebody negative and then you need to get out of that for you. Be aware of that. Okay, so let's talk a little more about posting on social media, because this is our storefront, as I said before. So this is where you're going to put yourself out there. And I want to share this because I think this is really important. When I was a new coach and posting, I really didn't get anywhere with friends and family. That won't mean that you won't, but I found it easier to start off talking to strangers than family, because when family, they're family and friends, they're kind of just watching to see what you're doing because you just started this new thing. What the heck are you doing? Are they going to stick with it? And they just kind of watch and wait. And it's really frustrating if you're constantly reaching out to the same people and getting no's. So you need to expand beyond that inner circle. You need to get more people to talk to and get in front of. Now, Instagram's amazing for just putting you out there on the platform. Because on Facebook, when you post something on your personal page, really your audience are people on your friends list. So if you only got like 200 friends, they're your main audience, and you're probably not going to get too far with that. On Instagram, because people find you through hashtags, that is where you're going to be able to find some new people outside of your circle. That's going to be helpful. So keep that in mind. I will get into branding and hashtags and all that stuff soon, because I know there's questions coming about that. And like, hey, I'm only getting other coaches to like my stuff. What's happening? I will answer that. But I want to focus on Facebook a bit, because I do think Facebook it's my ideal platform to grow on. I just really love the messenger system, the group system. It's so easy to use. So how do I expand my market on Facebook when only my friends list really sees my post? For one, set your profile to public. That might feel really intimidating at first, but really the exposure on Facebook is limited anyway, so don't really worry about it. You might be surprised that you get a few good people come along, and if you get people who are friending you who are clearly should not be added, then just don't add them. But what you can do, check your friends list and see who looks like you might have something in common with. Maybe you love like arts and crafts or knitting or motorcycles or whatever the case may be. If you make friends with your friends, chances are you're going to have some stuff in common, right? Because if you like that person and they like that person, well, there's some reason you both like that person, right? So it's going to give you an instant in. They're more likely to accept your friend request because you've got a mutual friend in common. It gives you something to talk about right out of the gates when they accept your friend request. Like, hey, I saw you're friends with Katie too. How do you know her? Just it gives you something to dive in with. So use that to kind of expand your friends list. Do not go and add like 30 people right now. Add like 2 to 3 new people a day as friends so that you don't get put in Facebook jail. And that you can also follow up with the number of people that you're adding, because you want to develop relationships with these people. It's not something where you're probably not going to invite them to do something with you the first time you talk to them, because you got to do that getting to know you phase first. But once you get that over with, I shouldn't say get that over with. Once you establish that relationship, because your challengers are going to be amazing friends, guys. So once you get to know them better, they're going to start watching your posts. They're going to see you. You're going to, like back and forth on your posts, and it's going to open up the door to get to that invite. It is a process. So just be aware with it, be patient with it. Just get to know people and genuinely get excited about that process. So we're going to get into that. So you add a few friends a day, then we're going to message people every day. This is the invitation process. You need to set a daily number, or let's say you only work your business Monday to Friday because you really need the weekends off. That's fine. You need to be consistent Monday to Friday. So whatever that daily target is, I highly recommend 3 if you can. Comfortably invite 3 people a day, or maybe uncomfortably, because we got to get outside of our own comfort zones to grow. So you're going to invite a certain number of people every single day. That is going to make sure that you have a constant influx of new people coming in. If you can go for 5 a day, I really highly recommend it. I know some people who have higher numbers. There's nothing wrong with that. But I say have a daily minimum, because on the days you're really busy or stressed or whatever, you want to always hit that minimum no matter what. And if you're having a day where you're like, hey, I got like an extra hour to run the business today, great, invite 15 people that day, that's fine. But then the next day, you got to still invite that minimum number, even if you're busier that next day. So have a number where you know you can commit to it no matter what's going on in your life. More is great, but always have a minimum that is non-negotiable. That is going to provide you with growth. Okay. Instagram. Okay, that's what I was going to talk about with hashtags. So with Instagram, you are getting a big public audience. What is the most common thing that happens to coaches? You get lost in white noise and you're only getting followed and liked by other coaches. Why? There's a really easy answer for this, because you're using the hashtags that coaches are searching. What you need to do is find the hashtags that your ideal customer wants to be looking for. So one of the best ways to figure out is, who is my audience? Who were you before you found Beachbody? That's who you want to talk to, because that person is who you're going to find and resonate with. So maybe you were 20 pounds overweight and you were, a new mom at the time, and you have a love for gardening. Great. That gives us some stuff to work with, where you're going to find some commonalities with that person. And what were you looking for when you found Beachbody? Were you looking for change? Were you feeling unhappy? Were you, looking for that one thing that would help you get started on your journey? Were you looking for cake recipes? I mean, figure out what that person wanted at that time, because we need to really resonate with that human being that we were, because that's who they are when they start their journey. So if that was the case, then you were probably looking for some help to lose that weight as a new mom. You're busy. Maybe you were looking for tips on how to potty train at the time. Figure out what things that you were searching for, because that's a good chance that you're going to find somebody in the same boat who was searching for those kinds of things. So get clear on who your audience is. And this can change over time, guys. Like if you're a growing, developing human being, so as you grow and change, then grow and change with your audience and share those new passions as they come into your life. Generally speaking, it's good to have about 5 variety of things that you're into. I mean, very obviously, as coaches, we all are into, the fitness and nutrition. So what are the other 3 things that are really unique and defining about you? So in terms of your hashtags, you don't want to be using like Shakeology, Beachbody, fitness. These tags are things that people who already like Beachbody, already like Shakeology, already like fitness are looking at. So you're not going to be attracting the right people. You want to find the person who, needs your help, but they're probably searching for something else, right? Like they're probably, if they were like ready in that exact moment, then they'd probably just already go and find something on Google. But if they're like just searching on Instagram, well, what do they like? Are you a video gamer? Are they going to resonate with the fact that you're also into RPG gaming? Great. Well, then maybe you should post some of your favorite, video game tags. So it's important that you figure out what that person likes. Tag those tags. If it's knitting, different tags relating to knitting. And search. If you go on Instagram, there's a little like spyglass at the bottom of the screen. You click that, and then you can type in like a hashtag that you're thinking about using. See who else is using it. If you're seeing other fitness professionals and other coaches using those tags, you don't want to use those tags. But if you're seeing like real people, and I hate saying that because we're real people too, but if you're seeing just like the everyday Joe using those tags, great. That's probably who you want to resonate with. Or maybe you start a tag and you're like, oh wow, that I didn't even know it related to that, because it might be something wild that you never expected. So it's important to investigate, what tags am I going to use, who's using them, who's searching them, and if people are using them, they're generally searching them. So figure out which ones are going to resonate to your audience so that the right people are going to see your posts. So that is my, Instagram 101 hashtags. As far as Facebook fan pages go, it is handy to have one, but you've probably heard like a lot of the exposure with fan pages is really down from where it used to be. You have to invest more into the advertisements to get seen. I'm not saying it's not worth it, but it's really simple to build a very effective business on your personal page. So why not do that? As far as coaching goes, you're going to be sharing your personal life as well, because that's what makes you relatable. So Beachbody is part of your life, and so is all the other aspects of your life, and that's part of what we do. So putting it on your personal page, there's nothing wrong with that, and it can be a really good way to grow. It's all about sharing the journey and not being like, hey, come buy this, or here's my link, sign up here, because people won't do that. And guys, I'm totally guilty. My first year as a coach, I was like so gross and salesy with my posts. So if you've done that, it's okay. All right. Like I don't know anybody who hasn't done something like that before. So you're not alone if you've done that. It just doesn't work. What you got to do is share where you're at. Share, like, if maybe you had a challenger who had really great results, ask them, hey, I'd love to give you a shout out on my page. You've done an amazing job. Can I share these photos? Most of the time they're going to say yes. Some are going to be embarrassed and say no. It's okay. Just ask first so you got permission. In this group right here, I mean, how many amazing transformations have you just seen in this group over these past 2 months? There's so much to share from this group. And I mean, yes, we don't know everybody personally. That's not the issue here. It's like, hey, in the coach test group I'm in, you've got to see this girl and share a little blurb about her story. And I'm so proud of her, and I'm so proud of everybody in this group. It's been such an amazing experience. Get it out there. Share what's happening. Share everybody's aspect of the journey, because it really helps. It helps you. It helps us build credibility to be able to share other people's stuff. You want to share your own progress too. Like, don't be embarrassed to share your own stuff. Don't only share other people's progress. It's important that you share what's going on with you. Be vulnerable, guys. I know it's hard to post something that you're like, wow, that's embarrassing and it's private and it's all that stuff, but that's where people relate to you. If you say you struggle, they're going to feel a lot better. I can tell you guys, when I was starting my fitness journey and I was 258 pounds and I saw the super skinny fit person on the TV. I mean, if anybody here has ever been significantly obese, you just look at them and go, really? Why are there never any fat people on here? You really do. So if you can be honest about the fact that it's a struggle, be honest that it's a struggle. That you've had struggles, even if you're where you want to be now, share what was hard for you, or maybe still is hard for you. Maybe saying no to chocolate every single day is something you struggle with still. That's okay. Share that. That's relatable. If you're fitness is easy and fitness is fun and fitness is amazing, then all the people who aren't into fitness yet are good for you. There's no relatability to that. But when you're I struggle, but I do it anyway, because, it's a choice between feeling like crap and tired and depressed about how I look, or struggling with the difficulty of getting through a workout, I'm going to pick the workout because I feel better afterwards. And that's honest. That's real. That's gritty. That's what people are going to respond to. So be aware of that. Be aware that honesty is the best way to get through stuff. Okay. Gotten through a lot of stuff here. I do want to talk about scheduling a little bit. This is a business. So if you want it to pay you like a business, you got to treat it like a business. That's consistency, that's schedule. So take a look at the calendar month. Figure out, when am I running my challenge groups this month? When am I going to do my posts? All that stuff. You need to know what's happening when. When you go to your job, you don't just go in and do stuff when you arbitrarily feel like it. You would get fired, right? You would not get paid to do that. When you go to your job, you know that, okay, I've got a meeting from 10 to 11, and then I'm meeting a client from 1 to 2, and you know what you're doing, right? It's got to be the same thing with the business. So you want to know at a glance, when are my challenge groups? So when I invite people, I know what date I'm getting them into. This also creates urgency when you talk to people. I'd like to clarify that's urgency, not, oh my God, get into my group. There's nobody in my group yet. You got to hurry, get in my group. Oh my God. That's panic. You need to have urgency, which is, it's coming up soon. You need to be brave and strong when you go for that. You need to be confident you will get the people into that group. And I can tell you, having done this for a very long time, you will mostly fill up the majority of that group really soon before it starts, which always leaves you feeling a little bit oh my God, am I actually going to do this? You will. Believe. It's really important that you believe that you can. So when these groups are set, so I'm not going to tell you have a group on the 1st and on the 15th. That maybe doesn't work for you. You need to look at what groups you're running, when they're happening. Maybe you're I only feel comfortable running one group a month at this point. I don't want to overstress myself. That's fine. Do that, but stick to it and be consistent with it. You want to always have somewhere to put people. I'm a big believer in having an ongoing challenge group. It really helps. After they're done whatever program they're in, they go there, they can Pick any program they want and do it in there, and be a support group with each other. They're gonna basically sell to each other, like I told you earlier, because they're gonna be sharing what they're using. Somebody's gonna use Shakeology, somebody else is using the Performance line. They both try the other one and they go, wow, I love it. These things happen. So it's really important to have that group where you can put people, and also where you can put brand new signups who aren't committing to the group you're currently running. So for example, we're all coming up to doing this next group of 80-day obsession. Well, if I talk to somebody and it's not going to be a fit for them, like they maybe physically can't do it, or they're just not ready for that level of intensity, I need somewhere to put them. I'm going to put them in my main ongoing challenge group, where they're going to have other people doing fitness programs and sharing their healthy foods and all that stuff and cheering each other on all the time, so they can do their workouts and share them and feel like they're part of a community. The community aspect, as I mentioned earlier, that's the magic. This is what makes us unique. This is what sets us apart from any other thing people can do out there. Beachbody is the only place where people can get fitness, nutrition, and support all at the same freaking time. I'm very passionate about that because I've done it where it's just been the diet, and I've done it where it's just been the gym, and neither one of them had the support. Neither one complemented I didn't get help with fitness when I was in a nutrition group or something, and I didn't get help with nutrition when I was at the gym. Beachbody does it all. And like I said, the most valuable thing that they're getting is you. So be confident in who you are and how that's working for you. And maybe you don't have support at home. Maybe your spouse doesn't support you. Maybe your family doesn't support you. Maybe they all think you're freaking crazy and you're wasting your time, and that this is a pyramid scheme and it's stupid and all that stuff. There's a whole bunch of negativity out there. Prove them wrong. Use that to fuel your freaking fire. Somebody tells me I can't do something, and I'm like, oh, watch me. And you want to have that attitude coming into this. You want to be like, I can do this. You got to know you can do this. If you came into 80-Day Obsession and went, well, I'm going to try, you probably would have quit before the first phase was over, if you even had made it through the first week. When you commit to, I know I can be the best Beachbody coach that I can, and I am committed to changing people's lives, and I know that I can make this business grow, and that is powerful. Once you believe in yourself, you're unstoppable. And I'm going to give you guys an example. For me, for the longest time, I was just stuck at Emerald, and I wanted to get the business further, and I was really committed to it, but I hadn't really made that decision. And as soon as I made that decision, I will be a diamond. I was just flipped a switch. And I went from Emerald to Diamond it was just over a month. And it was something that I had been struggling to do. But as soon as I flipped that switch in my head and said, this is happening, the way paved itself. And this is going to come all back to the law of attraction, guys. You hear me talk about that a lot because it changed my life. Once I got into the law of attraction and realized you focus on the goal, not the how. As soon as you focus on the goal, the way presents itself. So you got to decide where you want to go and let the way present itself. It's just like that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. That's exactly what's going to happen. Once you decide that you're ready to take that path forward, you're going to see all the obstacles you thought you had in the past just dissolve. And I did a bit of a talk with our team this week about, what the heck is it called? I can't remember what the term is now. I feel like I must have written this down. Object focus, something like that. Basically, I'm going to describe it and hope that the term comes to me. But, object fixation, that's what it is. There, yay! So object fixation. So, for example, when you're a kid learning to ride your bike, one of the first things you learn is you want to look where you want to go, not at what you want to avoid. As soon as you look at the, stick on the, sidewalk or the curb, you start heading towards it. And then you start to panic. Oh, crap, that's coming fast. How do I get out of this? And then, boom, crash. You focus on where you want to go. If you focus on the obstacles, you will hit the obstacles and they will make you crash. If you focus on where you want to go, you will go where you want to go. So you got to focus on where you want to go with this business. And again, that's kind of come back to your goal and where you want to be with the business. Now, we talked a little bit earlier today that Emerald and Success Club 5 do need to be within that goal package. I don't care what you want to do with this business. If you're helping 3 new people a month get started and you're Emerald, you've got that influx of growth from the customer program. You're getting those leads as well as the people you're bringing in yourself. So if you're getting the customer leads and you're bringing in a steady stream of people, inviting 3 people a day as your minimum, you should at least be bringing in like 15 to 20 new customers a month. And I'm not saying this is like, it's not like earth-shattering, but it grows over time, right? Because if you're bringing in like 15 new customers a month, that's like 180 new customers a year. That's significant, guys. Like, that adds up. That's going to give you a freaking big team. That's going to give you residual income. That means that liberates you and your family. You don't have to worry about like that financial struggle anymore. And it's all from these little daily things that don't have to take very long. If you can just take that little bit of time to schedule out your month, you get your groups in place, and then you follow your daily habits, just like you work out every day and you eat your time nutrition. Well, now I'm sitting down for half an hour to do my invites and to post on social media and to check into my challenge group. Boom, like you really hit the nail on the head. And it's not hard, it's just consistency, and it's seeing past the obstacles. And again, I know I talked about the, objections earlier. That's a good thing. You should be so excited when people give you objections. That's such a good sign. I posted, actually I didn't post yesterday. I'll see if I can get it in the comments here because it was a really long thing and I don't know if it let me post it because it was too long for a comment. But I posted a objection response, examples, so that you had some stuff to work off of. At the end of the day, it really is feel, felt, found. Like that's going to work for you every time. Just like relate to them, understand where they're at, like let them know that you understand why they feel that way. And then we got to go through why that really isn't an issue. That's all it is. So I got to go and get that call that just came in and buzzed. Sorry about that, guys. But I really hope you found this helpful. If you guys need help, just like send me a message. I'm more than happy to help. I love coaching. This is such a big passion for me, and I'm just so happy to have been in this group with you guys. I'm really excited for the, Obsessed About Coaching group, and I want you all to be in it with me. So get in touch if you need help. I'm here for you. Have an awesome day, guys. Let's kick some butt.